That's bad.
Alright, today we need to start addressing the wiring in the Starfire. Because this is a catastrophe. A catastrophe, if you will. Please don't, though. It is pretty bad. And for a small block Chevy, you only need like one wire and the willpower to make this thing run. So I'm going to, instead of trying to redo this and salvage it and just make it look pretty, I think I'm going to rip out almost all of it. Now, I'm no wiring expert by any means. I just know that real ugly and unorganized wiring is a huge pet peeve. It deeply bothers me, and when it comes time to troubleshoot, it's almost impossible. So, to make things a little bit easier down the road, in the event I do have to troubleshoot anything on this, we're going to try to simplify things as much as possible. And to do that, I made this. This is a real basic relay board. Now, I'm sure most of you guys know how relays work, but if you don't, let me give a quick little crash course. Main battery power will connect to this, and that will have a fuse for each of these circuits, and this will be the main power to each of these relays. And then from there, you've got all these white wires. These are the switched side of the relay. So you, like for instance, hit a toggle switch, it sends the power to this, which then magnetizes a little magnet in here, and it pulls a lever over, which then sends the full battery power out this side. And then these are just a universal ground that I'm going to have this go right to the chassis. So this is basically a real dumbed down ECU. You tell it what's happening here, and then it reacts and sends power out this way. So let's say I've got a toggle switch going to the water pump or whatever. I'll hit the switch, it'll connect the circuit here, and then it'll come in, magnetize it, send the full 12 volt out this side, it'll go to the water pump, boom, turns on. Same with fans, same with pretty much anything. I can run the ignition through this, or the distributor, whatever, the switched power for the distributor, everything. All we got to do is just find a spot to bolt this into the car or screw it to the floor or the kick panel or wherever we feel like putting it so that it's somewhat easy to get to so that we can add wires and check fuses and stuff like that down the road. And then we just have to connect the wires here and then main battery and main ground. That's kind of it. And because safety is always a little bit of a concern around here, probably like safety 5th or 6th, 7th, 8th? Safety top 10. Because safety is always top 10, this is a 250 amp circuit breaker. The main battery, like from the battery to the car after the on-off switch and everything, connects to one side, and then the battery out to everything else connects to the other side. And then in the event that there's ever a short or something, it'll just break the circuit. And then you have to manually reset it. So this was, I want to say like 10 bucks. And, you know, you can literally just cut your line and crimp 2 ends on it and add that much safety to your car. So you don't need to have this, but it was just one of those things that it was like 10 bucks. I figured why not have it. So now is the fun part where we get to just completely rip the wiring out of the car and then start to question everything we ever did and wonder, fuck, will this car ever run again? That's the fun part. Alright, so I got a lot of the engine bay cleaned up. Made a little heater delete panel that I think turned out really good, actually. I still need to pull it off and do some seam sealer around the edges, but I think it turned out pretty good. And then we'll fog it with like some wrinkle black or something. But yeah, almost all of the wiring is out of the engine bay. The only things left are the lights here, which I'm going to run those off that relay board. So I'll run the wires to these independently. It'll probably be up through here somewhere. Might do a little hole in that with a grommet. And then, so really the only wiring that'll be out here is to the lights and to the distributor. Right? Am I forgetting anything else? I think that's it. Honestly, this thing shouldn't need the line lock. The other day when I did a burnout in the garage with it, in my dad's garage, it lit the tires up immediately. So I think we should be good there. So I'm not going to worry about that just yet. And then I would like to redo the fuel lines, but I'm not going to do that now. What is this one? What does this go to? Because that's yucky. That is just, see, that's the problem with this. That's why this is taking me so long to do. Because I'll be doing one thing and then I'll see something like this and I'll be like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'll just start investigating that and dealing with that. And then it just, all of a sudden I've got like 4 things that I'm trying to do at once and it's like, yikes. Oh, and the wiring for the fan, I forgot about that. So someone thought that there was no fan or anything on it. You can see it right here. It's just a pusher fan. So yeah, there is a fan on this thing. I've got the gauges out of the car. There was just the tack that was hanging off the front bar here, and then oil pressure and water temp are on the dash bar. I'm gonna get some new, not like fancy gauges for it, just like the cheap $20 ones, but just some new ones that I know are good and not in a weird spot. And then I've got this tack that I believe came out of the Firebird, if memory serves. Yeah, I've got to find a spot for that. As much as I don't want to just screw this right to the dash, the windshield is right there, so who knows, we might go back up here with it. So one of the things that we were waiting on was a switch panel for it. I could have just wired up a bunch of toggle switches, but that's not fun. So I got on Amazon, and I found this 6-gang rocker switch for like 27 bucks. And it looks to be pretty good to run the power to everything. There's just a power and ground, and then they're all hooked together so that you just have to hook the out wires to whatever they're going to. It saved me a bunch of time not having to make all these jumper wires. Down the road, I do want to change out this one for a momentary switch, because right now it's just a toggle, but that's going to be the starter. So I'll have to like, blah, 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 you know, do it manually, which isn't a big deal, honestly, but yeah, we'll just main power, fuel pump, fan, lights, start, ba-bow. I still kind of want to put this up on the halo bar, but the halo bar is so close to the roof that there's not room around it to get anything more than a hose clamp for like the painless or the Jegs ones, or I think Quick Car had one maybe. So I was debating on just welding a bracket and then putting these like that. As much as I hate the wiring being exposed on the backside, I'm just not sure really what else we would do to be able to put it here in a timely manner, of course. And then the other thing I thought was it fits in there almost perfectly. Like I could put it like that and then just bop, 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 bop. But in the seat, that might be kind of hard to reach. Let me toss a seat in this thing real quick just to kind of get an idea of stuff. And I still need to cut this out. Oh, wait a second. Got it. Fucking thing. Alright. Feeling pretty decent about where everything is. I could reach it here. Yeah, I think I could reach it there, but I would still much rather have it up here. You know? You know, I'd still much rather have it up here. But then that is 6 wires going down there. Yeah, I think right here is probably a good spot for it. So now, do we put the tack back up here? I don't think so. Well, because any flagger should be right in here. So yeah, we'll put it on the dash. Frick it. Yeah, actually, I'd be able to get all buckled in, reach the switches, and then re-cinch the shoulder straps, just to make sure. Yeah, it's yeah, I think that'll be okay. All right, let's get back to work. All right, I don't know where I just left off because I just kind of got in the zone, but I'm pretty sure everything that I said I was gonna do, I did not do. But I still made a lot of progress on the car. So you can't tell from here, but all this shit was under the dash. So yeah, pulled this other section off, and just one thing after another, I said, screw it. Let's just rip as much out of this thing as we can. Got the heater core and all the vent tubing and a bunch more wiring out of it. So basically now the only wiring that's still left in the car is just a little bit of stuff surrounding the steering column that I just haven't gotten to. Actually, you can see some of it dangling there. All I got to do is find the other end as close as I can get to anything, and then we'll snip that. And then the wiring for the taillights. And I think that's everything. But yeah, hopefully you can see under the dash. Looks pretty good. And I got the relay board mounted. So yeah, we're making pretty good progress. But like I said, things, they just got a little out of hand here. But yeah, as far as the wiring goes, all I really have left to do is mount the switch panel and then run the wires back and forth to the switch panel, circuit board, I keep calling it a circuit board, the relay board, and to the accessories that they run, so fans, fuel pump, lights, things like that. So yeah, this has been a lot longer of a process than I was expecting, so I think we might end the video here just so that we can get it up and it's not going to be like a 7-hour long video. Plus this day is just going by really fast, so hopefully I can get this edited and get it up tonight for you guys. So yeah, that's probably going to do it. If you guys want merch, first link in the description below. 10% off at Snake Eater using code Snydertron. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that bell. I'll see you next time.